What's good, YouTube? Swiftly here, back with another NBA 2K25 video, and in today's video we're actually going to be talking about Pro Toon builds. Now, Pro Toon builds are a new set of builds that NBA 2K has added into NBA 2K25, in addition to the NBA builds that we normally seen make its way into the game last year. Kind of similar to the community builds, although I would say that this is much better than any of the community builds I've seen by content creators being uploaded in NBA 2K24. Not to throw any shade at them, I'm just saying, like, some of those builds were actually really bad. Okay, so Pro Toon builds, I've seen some good ones, I've seen some bad ones, but the main thing I want to tell you guys about, right, is I get a lot of requests as a guy who makes rare builds and stuff. I get a lot of requests for people who've seen this build or that build, and I just want to tell you that some of these builds are Pro Toon builds. If you see like a super wicked ass name or rare name, then odds are it's probably a Pro Toon build. Now, do keep in mind, there are some really rare builds out there that you can make that are insane. I've come up with, like, like 3-level scoring point forward, or playmaking defensive anchor, offense heavy wing, steady point center. There's a couple of, score first wing, shoot first two guard. There's a couple of crazy names like, wing creator or two-way wing creator, back to basket for stuff like that, that people haven't seen or haven't probably made because it's super rare. But a lot of these Pro Toon builds have like crazy ass names that we've never seen before in NBA 2K, and I just want to show you guys. Now, do keep in mind that the only way to get these names is if you use a Pro Toon build. And look, I'm going to click R3 where you see at the bottom left of my screen it says customize, right? So you see your point guard build, it's an inside scoring, and it's an air artist, and it says explosive athlete, superior finisher, excellent burst and shiftiness, hits threes at a good rate, defensive ball hawk. And then when you press triangle on a detailed view over here to the bottom right, it will show you the stats that you're getting and your badge totals. So you see you don't get no legend badges, but you get aerial wizard and lightning launch. You get a bunch of gold badges, a bunch of silver badges, and a handful of bronze badges. You can also press square on that and see what your takeover view is going to be, or whatever, for what you get for the takeover and whatnot, right? Then moving on, like I said, when you hit R3 to customize, you will see that it says, attention, customizing a Pro Toon build will remove the archetype name and signature animations that are attached. So do keep in mind, you do get signature animations when you do use a Pro Toon build. So like if it comes with like certain dunking or layups or whatever animations, you will have those animations already on the build. So you see this air artist build was inspired by Derrick Rose. Now, if you copy these stats to a T, and you try to make this build, it won't come out as an air artist. It will only come out as an air artist if you make these Pro Toon builds. The first time I seen this was in NBA 2K TV. I think I seen a balanced small forward, and I think it became a multifaceted star. I seen that in episode 1 of 2K TV, where you see like the my career files, you can see the names, and then there was like a couple of other names. It was like 2 or 3 other names. I looked at it, I didn't notice it was Pro Toon because it does have like a star next to the name. When you use a Pro Toon build, it will show you in the my career file that it's a Pro Toon build, but I didn't take notice of that because it was obviously an episode of 2K TV. So I just see multifaceted star. I just quickly wrote the name down, like, oh snap, multifaceted star, I gotta find out how to make that. When I came in here to test this out to see if this was true or not, and if we can make these builds, I went to the defensive point guards and found the triple stopper. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, there we go. Triple stopper, which is inspired by Alex Caruso, a 6'7", 205-pound, 7-foot wingspan PG, who specializes in defense, being a lengthy defender, who can also step outside and hit the 3 ball as well too. And you can see the badges and stuff. This was like a semi-decent build, not the greatest build. You can obviously make a better build than this, but I copied these stats. I copied the height, the weight, the wingspan, everything to a T. And what I ended up with is a defensive menace. So I'm just here to tell you guys that a lot of these Pro Toon builds, they have like really sick archetype names that you can only get if you use this build, and you can't customize this build at all. I would have to hit X, continue, and then use this build outright like this if I want the name Triple Stopper. This is the only way to get the name Triple Stopper in the game. You cannot make these builds from scratch in the builder. So right here you see it says you have built a Triple Stopper. If I click choose team and you know, create this build, this is the only way that I will be able to get that name Triple Stopper. So I just want to go through this and just show you guys like some of the crazy build names. You got Air Artist, you got Airborne Ace, Dunk Magician, Gritty Guard, I like, which was kind of like the rugged playmaker or rugged guard we used to see back in the older 2Ks. Another one that I really liked, I think it was the power forward balance, is the Jack of all trades. I've had people asking me about the Jack of all trades builds, and I'm here to tell you that the new Jack of all trades build is the Swiss Army knife. That is the new Jack of all trades build. There is no more Jack of all trades. As you see, Jack of all trades is now a Pro Toon build. If you want the name Jack of all trades, the only way to get Jack of all trades is to play with a power forward balanced build. That's it. You can't get this build any other way. I played around with the builder. I probably have more hours in the builder than I do actually playing the game, because I've spent an ungodly amount of time tinkering and playing around in the builder, coming up with all these crazy builds and rare build names and whatnot, trying to find like the best names and the wildest names that we haven't seen yet, you know, from, you know, the normal popular build names that we see. So Jack of all trades is now a power forward balance name, just so you guys know. Outside scorer, we got mid-range assassin, playmaking marksman, sniper guard. Playmaking, we got ISO King. I've seen a couple of ISO Kings here and there out there in the wild. We got Micro Magician, which I haven't seen anybody using that at all, which is not such a bad build at 6'3", you know. We got the Shifty Sniper, which was inspired by Kyrie Irving. And then we have the Creator, which I kind of like that name. That's a fire name. I don't know how great this build would be, you know, but kind of decent. I mean, the defense isn't that good and the physicals isn't that great, but like playmaking and shooting wise, you could get busy with this for sure. The Creator is not too bad, you know what I mean? And then for defense, obviously the Triple Stopper that I told you guys about, the two-way general as well, and then the pesky defender, Drew Holiday-esque build, Hall of Fame challenger, interceptor, on-ball menace, glove, off-ball pass, and pick dodger. You're going to be an absolute matchup nightmare. Then you got an 87 3-ball, so you could, you know, shoot, you know, you can space the floor pretty well. But yeah, man, like, that's just to show you guys, like, you know, the PG Pro Toon builds. And then finally for balance, we got Complete Guard, which I like that name, Complete Guard. As far as the build, it's not too bad. You could pretty much, you know, do everything except for rebound. You know, you got that perimeter, the steal, you know, you got the speed and agility. You don't really have strength, which would be nice with that drive and dunk. If you was able to get some level of strong handle, I probably would have brought my vertical down maybe to like a 70, give or take. Or maybe go up on the drive and dunk for better dunking animations, contact dunks and stuff, and then maybe play around with something, maybe the mid-range or something to get like just a 60 defensive rebound, because, you know, bronze rebound chaser goes a long way with those animations. But then we have Dynamic Point, which is another balanced point guard build. And then this is one of the most fire names I've seen in the Pro Toon, which is Two-Way Specimen. You know what I'm saying? To be a two-way specimen is kind of crazy, man. That's a hard build name, man. So you Complete Guard, Dynamic Point, Two-Way Specimen. You guys can come in here and just look at the different names, like all of the like extremely rare names. All of these names will be rare. Now, will the builds be as good as the names? Probably not, but in 2K's defense, you know, I actually seen my friend running a lockdown shooter build this year. And it was actually pretty good build. He had a game where he had like 8 or 7 steals. Shout out to my boy Lunchbox. He had about 7 or 8 steals. He was going absolutely insane with this build, man. Like 91 steal, 92 perimeter. You know, playmaking is kind of ass, but you know, you can play 3 and D. I tried to make this build and it came out as a 3 and D 2 guard. So, again, I tried to make at least 3 of the builds in this Pro Toon Builder, and I couldn't make any of the names. It came out as something different. I forgot what the other build was, but the lockdown shooter came out as a 3 and D 2 guard. The triple stopper came out as a defensive menace, and then I made another build and it came out as a completely different name. And that's when I realized that you can't make any of these Pro Toon build names. Sky Fortress, Straight Jacket, you can't make any of these build names in the builder. If you want any of these names like Glass General, Diverse Phenom, Versatile Star, any of these fire names, you're going to have to go into the Pro Toon builders and look at those names, and select these builds. You can't edit them, you can't tweak them at all. You're at the mercy of whatever these stats are. And again, like I said, some of these builds are not too bad. Some of them you can make better. You won't have the cool name like Pocket Post or Highlight Reel or Basket Bandit, but you can, have a dope name and a decent build. So that's one thing I will say this year. That is kind of cool about the Pro Toon builds and about 2K25 is that they actually made some of these builds like actually viable. Last year, the builds, the community builds, which I'm pretty sure they'll probably bring back this year, were kind of really bad. This year the Pro Toon builds are actually kind of decent. And then even when you go into the NBA builds, I would say if you could choose between the two, I would honestly have you guys go with the Pro Toon builds over these NBA builds. The only thing that these NBA builds have is the fact that you will have these signature animations already on the build. So if you want, let's say, Steph Curry layup package, then I would recommend you make an NBA build with Steph Curry. So you have his SIGs and stuff like that. You don't even have to buy the SIGs. You will have the SIGs equipped. If you like Luka's SIGs, or you like Giannis or KD SIGs or whatever like that, or maybe you like KP or Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, LeBron is another one that's really popular. If you like any of these players' SIGs, then obviously you could just, or Tatum, Kawhi, you could obviously just make an NBA build and just, have the SIGs already on the build. But do keep in mind, just like with the Pro Toon builds, if you edit it, as you can see the note at the bottom, editing body settings or attributes will result in the removal of all signature animations. So you can't tweak these builds at all if you want these signature animations and stuff. So if you want the SIGs, you can't tweak the build at all. Personally, I would recommend that you guys spend some time in the builder and get familiar with the builder and tweak your build exactly to your liking. But if you feel like you're going to make a mistake or you're going to screw up or you're not really sure what you want to make, then I would just go with a Pro Toon build or even an NBA build and just find like maybe your favorite player and try to just pick one of those builds, especially for the newer players that don't really know much about the builder and don't want to waste their money or, their time or VC on a bad build. I would definitely recommend that you guys, do that as well too. For the more experienced players, obviously, you can look at my videos, get whatever template that you want for a specific rare build, and then tweak that build to your liking, and make it exactly how you want it, man. But it's been your boy Swiftly, man. I just wanted to give you guys this content and this information so you guys know when you see some of these crazy names, the only way to get these names is by making a Pro Toon build. You won't get these names by tweaking the builder or creating in the builder yourself. But yeah, man, just just letting you guys know that, man. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K25 content. I'm out, y'all. Peace.